Morning. You smiling, Mr. Bear? We off for our wander. It's a beautiful day, isn't it, Miss Elsa? Hey? Yeah, and Batty. Elsa's in heat. Batty will not leave her alone. Batty didn't even come to bed last night. You wanted to mother her instead. I tell you. So I actually slept really well, and I'm just walking where I saw an oil beetle yesterday, really cool, black with red stripes. Apparently it's their breeding season at the moment. Put it on the group, Wildlife in Portugal. Wanted to see what was going on. Wanted to understand what it was. It's a funny little beetle. Its head kind of stuck out of its body in a strange way. It was like it had a thing on its head rather than anything else. It'd be nice if we saw another one, but maybe this isn't the space. Maybe it's looking for something to breed with. It was considerably a considerable size. It's like the size of my thumb. I'm sure that doesn't make much sense to you either, because you'll not know the size of my thumb. But I suppose if you look at your own thumb, then it was about 2.5, 3 inches. Right, so that's quite a size for a beetle. It's not yet 7 o'clock, and it's such a beautiful day. The sun's getting up slightly earlier, and when we're coming out now, it just doesn't have that same yellow. Everywhere so much brighter. Sheep are out with the breakfast. I'm sure they were out all night. And just going past where there's an abundance of thistles, aren't we, Bear? Ready for our daily wander. Wonder whether we'll see the ladies. We saw 2 groups of them yesterday. 2 groups of them. And we managed it, didn't we, Bear? Without getting giddy. He gets so excited wanting all the loves. But he's so big, people don't want to give him all the loves. Because he's a bit scary. Because he's the size of, well, bigger than the majority of humans, especially them women. They're quite short compared to me, so if on his back legs he'd be taller than they are. So I guess they find him intimidating, whereas if Batty jumps up, he's only higher than the, ankles heading towards their knees. So it's a big difference. They're coming now. Come on, you two. You're dilly-dallying, Mr. Bear. Yeah. So, I'm going to turn the camera around. So today, Anne leaves. I'm going to drop her in Castello this morning before I venture out for the day with well, not the day, but you know what I mean. I'm going to see, hopefully, cheese festival and motorcycle show. They all go on a ride out at about 10 or 10:30 or something. So I don't know how long this takes or where they go or what, but it sounds exciting. I think, oh wow, I'd love to be part of that. But Not this year, certainly, and I've not got a bike. Maybe one day, who knows. And I'm looking forward to seeing Chris and being able to do something. Come on, bear. Come. It's always the sniffy part. There's exciting things to sniff. So yeah, Anne, like I said, Anne's leaving. She's going to Castello Branco for a few days before she ventures off back to Belgium, which is good. I wish her well. Try to think of... There's nothing really much else to say about what's going on today, because I don't know, because I've not been there yet, and anything could happen and things can change. So all's good for the potential land sitters. They believe they should be heading over. They've got the flights booked and the bus booked, so I get to meet them on the 18th in person instead of over the internet, which will be nice. It's always, you know, as much as we meet people over the internet, I really would like to meet more people in human form, because I think that should be the way forward. As much as we have online gatherings and virtual firesides, that meeting people, giving people a hug and just being present with them is so different to the world of separateness which we all live in. And yeah, it's just a strange way of being. Now I've noticed this separation that's occurred in myself in regards to humans and alcohol. I'm going to be really wary of that, and try and observe myself more and work out my way to try and remember the good times, you know. Try and remember like the great times with Chaos Dave and Jonk and Alex and Brett and Long John. All, you know, none of us, we weren't really violent. It was just fun and drinking and smoking and like communal smoking and just being together, and Chad and Trev and Not So and Nancy and Paula and Annie and Shares, and wow, there were so many people and so much fun and so much merriment. Like, it was laughter and seeing things as they were and having a giggle. John used to have such a funny laugh that used to be like almost contagious, almost like a little bubble popping with his giggle. And he'd say something as it was, which would make it into this whole big, it'd just like frame it. You know what I mean? You'd see something and he'd just state the obvious. And it was so funny. That's, you know, I remember. And Deaf Ed didn't really say much, but he certainly did have a lot to share through his ways, because he was deaf and mute. So he made noises and his face was always so expressive, always. And the amount of times he set fire to himself on the chair or the sofa, like, yeah. we'd wait for it to happen and then put him out. And see if he'd, it was trying to see if he'd notice. Like, because he'd fall asleep with his cig in his hand, and then the next minute he'd be going up in flames, and we'd be like, hey. But you can't, not that shouting makes any difference when they're deaf. You throw something at him, show him what it was, and he was like, oh, his way of going, oh no, but thank you, but in his own little way. They were such fun days, and such a school, such a school for learning and being and accepting people. And I didn't see many lessons until I came away from there, and then I realised how valuable that time was in my life. So grateful for people who are not afraid to speak their truth, who where you are when you're with people like that, and it's safe. It feels safe, it feels secure, feels grounded, even when they say something that doesn't resonate, or it's so right, it's hurting, that they're so right, and that means that there's work for you to do, and you turn inward and you just want to improve yourself because of it. And it's so beautiful being with such amazing souls like that. That's all those years ago. Such a blessing. Oh. So yeah, I'm going to be thinking about those truth seekers. I wonder what Junk would say in this situation that I'm in right now. Or even Brett, or I don't know. It's Junk who's the one with the one-liners, really. But yeah. A one-line statement in truth. Boom, there you go, there you have it. And there you see it, almost as if it was lit up in neon lights. And that's what I think I miss in life, having someone that I can share my life with who says, hey, maybe that's not right, or says, this is what I see going on right now, and this is what it appears from the outside, without me taking it personally, without anyone getting reactive, where people can use that space to grow. Like, I miss that. I miss having someone like that in my life. And I've not had anyone like that in my life for quite some time. And those people that can be direct and honest seem to fade away because they're okay at giving it out and not okay at receiving. So that's an interesting thing there, that people can be so good to point out someone else's things and not so good to take it back when you say the other way. Truth sandwiches, I call them. Truth sandwiches. I want a truth sandwich at the moment. I really want a truth sandwich around this whole cancer thing. I want, like, truth. None of this fear-mongering shite. None of this smoke and mirrors. I want a truth sandwich. I want someone to say, oh, this is actually how it is. Statistically, or in my experience, this is what I witness, or this is what I've witnessed. This is how I've experienced that in those people so far. And I feel like I want to try and make some kind of conscious, informed decision based on all that information. And right now, anytime I go to think about things, I just remind myself, whoa, before you go thinking and trying to dig into anything, remember, you woke up with the words full hysterectomy. Like, I so don't know what that was about. I just know that that's what it was said, and then that's led me to where I'm at now. And I know that things change and truth changes. Never absolute truth, but generalised truth changes. And what's real changes. And the bodies change, we heal ourselves. And I know I've dropped some attachments. Or that one big, massive, huge attachment that really was holding me back. So it's over the realisation with Simon. So I need to, like, I last spoke to Shy, and it was a beautiful conversation. And she was sharing, and it was just really precious moments of listening and being present and hearing her share times that were good. That was so good, so blessed, so treasured. So yeah, I'm noticing that I need to do work on myself around people and alcohol to get less reactive, or be, because I was raising my voice as they raised the voice, and that shouldn't ever be done. And I know that after years and years of SIA experience, when people are raising the voice at me, trying to be right, let them be right. Let them raise the voice. Even if they're being personal and having a dig at you in some way. So what? That's their truth. Doesn't fucking matter. Like, why did I take it so personally? And then I know I took it personally because it was the memories of me and Si. So, yeah, that's what I had to let go. That's what I've got to try and I'm understanding it now. I get it now. It's now how to apply that in life. You know, is anyone going to show up in my life now who drinks and then gets loud or whatever? You never know, do you? Or will it show up in some other way? Because that's where my work lies. So got so much work to do on myself. Hope I get to do plenty more work on myself in this human experience, because I'm finally finding the blessings of being able to talk with people that are like-minded and take things to a new level of understanding, or open my mind to other possibilities and opportunities in the world that are, it's like, okay, more grist for the mill. And some things I know that doesn't matter, and some things that do. Like, it doesn't matter whether the world's round or flat, does it? Like, really? Does that make any difference to your belief system or how you live on the planet? Not really. So, does it matter? No. Do I care? No. But when it comes to things like how we are with our fellow humans, how we can open our hearts and be sitting with them through incredibly tough times, that's what matters. How can we walk each other home mindfully? That's what matters. How can I share what I've got to share with a whole heart without being reactive to those who take it personally when it's not personal? That's what matters. You know, these things matter. And does it make me feel a bit weird that maybe, despite my age and the fact that I've got a beautiful daughter who's 22, I have got no, and I had no real desire to bring any other children into this world. that now I'm thinking that maybe it won't happen. That I'm having thoughts thinking, wow, you know, I could have been bringing another life in to the planet, and it might be really important to do that one day. I'm thinking, well, maybe that's not my place or job. Maybe that's just ego. That's just, it is a part of me, a sacred part of me that served me all this time. Maybe it is time for it to go. I don't know. But trust the universe. The universe is trusted, and I'm not really a truster of science. I'm not a truster of science, not a truster of statistics, really, because it all just seems like bollocks. I think living under cosmic knowledge, living under cosmic knowledge is the key. And science is there, so medical science is there to support that in certain ways, like A&E and things like that. Some things are supposed to be there to help us and preserve life, but I think some things that are there to preserve life is just ridiculous. We should let life go rather than keep so many people in a state of dependence where they've got very little, if not any, if no dignity at all, and we're keeping them alive for the sake of some people that don't really show up that often. You know, eventually those daily bedside visits turn into every few days, then every week, then every few weeks, sometimes once a month, sometimes less, because that's not the person that was, and they're grieving, and the person in the bed's just trapped and grieving and not able to have a voice. And that's what the medical system does. It preserves life longer. It's to preserve life, trying to keep things as they once were, but things can never go back to what they once were, because things change. So, do we want that? I don't know why that happened. Well, I do know why that happened, due to ego and attachment, emotional attachment and things like that. But being real, is that even fair or right? Like, how is that treating the other people that are caught and stuck in that way? And what do you really get out of keeping someone alive? It just seems barbaric. You wouldn't do it to your pets. So yeah. But that's governments and the medical profession making up all these decisions, wanting people to live an eternal life and selling eternal life. We've got eternal life, we just don't keep our bodies. You just got it a bit wrong there, you know. We've got eternal life. We're not going to go anywhere, really, apart from drop our bodies and move on to the next thing. So it's letting go of our belief systems around living and dying, and seeing what else there is to be discovered. Anyway, I best go, enjoy my wander, and sending love to all, and I hope you have a blessed day.